Turning now to the high-stakes elections nationwide. In California, the state will now be allowed to use a new legislature-drawn congressional map starting next year instead of the current map drawn by the California Citizens Redistricting Commission. It's after voters approved a state constitutional amendment known as Proposition 50. The new map could potentially kick 5 of California's 9 Republicans out of their seats. This move was in response to Texas's redistricting plan from earlier this year. Then on the East Coast, 2 major gubernatorial races saw a shakeup. The Associated Press called the Virginia gubernatorial race for Democratic candidate Abigail Spanberger over the Republican candidate Winsome Earl-Sears. This is a flip from former Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin. Spanberger will be the state's first female governor. And the Associated Press also called the New Jersey gubernatorial race for Democratic Mikey Sherrill over Republican and former state legislator Jack Ciattarelli.
We now turn here to the historic New York mayoral election that's certainly been making headlines all across the country, as Democrat Zohran Mamdani has defeated independent Andrew Cuomo and also Republican Curtis Sliwa. Mamdani is now the city's first Muslim mayor, and the 34-year-old state lawmaker, who describes himself as a democratic socialist, is the youngest New York City mayor in a century. Last night, he said it is time to bring New York into a new age.
Tonight, we have stepped out from the old into the new. So let us speak now with clarity and conviction that cannot be misunderstood about what this new age will deliver and for whom. This will be an age where New Yorkers expect from their leaders a bold vision of what we will achieve, rather than a list of excuses for what we are too timid to attempt.
In Minneapolis, ballots are being recounted after the highly contested mayoral race saw no winner last night. That's because no candidate received more than 50% of the vote. So Minneapolis uses a ranked choice voting system, meaning voters also included their second and third choice options on the ballot. So they will now recount those ballots to account for those second and third choice options to see if that puts one of the candidates over that 50-point threshold. The race is neck and neck between incumbent Democrat Jacob Frey and Democratic Socialist Omar Fateh.
And in his first election since returning to office, President Trump is now reacting to the dominant wins for Democrats across the nation. Trump took to social media to distance himself from the disappointing election results for Republicans, saying, quote, "Trump wasn't on the ballot and shut down were the 2 reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight," end quote.